Welcome, our dear students, to our today's lesson on physics subject concerning on the topic of temperature, and our today's subtopic is called as concept of temperature. My name is Teacher Abdul Sudi Muhammad, a physics teacher. So before going on to our today's lesson, so now all of you can put your hands like this one, then try to crush, then after that, now touch your cheek. So how do you feel? Okay. Then another thing that we can do right now, you can open your mouth, then place your place your hand in front of your mouth. Please open your mouth, then try to force the air from your mouth outside. So how do you feel? Okay, it is hot. Another way that we can do, place again, but for the third time, now close your mouth like this one, then push out the air from your mouth. Okay, how do you feel? Yes, it is cold. Thank you. So due to that, when we are concerning with the concept of the temperature, is just upon the sense of touching. Then upon the sense of touching, we can explain the concept of the temperature. So the hot body has a high temperature, and the cold body has a low temperature. So in this way, at the end of our today's lesson, what we expect to have, our today's specific objectives on this lesson. So one, we have to define the term temperature. And secondly, we have to state the SI unit of temperature. So in addition to that, we can see how the temperature can be measured. I mean in terms of the instrument that is used to measure the temperature. So by starting with that, we can have a piece of dry ice. Because the temperature can be concerned on the sense of touching, then try to touch the ice and try to feel. After that, we can have the hot object like hot water, or if a person has a fever, so the temperature will be high. So then due to that, we can see if you have the object, like this one, then due to the particle moving and due to the motion, particularly in different direction in random motion, so the particle collide. The particle collide. During the collision, there is the production of heat. So in this way, if there are some velocity concerning with the moving particle, what we have the energy due to the motion, and the energy due to the motion, we have said that this is the kinetic energy. This meaning that the kinetic energy is just directly proportional to the velocity of the moving particle of the body. So this one can be achieved for the case of the solid, liquid, as well as for gases. So if that is the case, then due to this fact, we can say that, let's say number one, temperature is the degree of hotness or coldness of a body. So that is the first way that we can define the concept or the meaning of the temperature. Additionally, temperature, the term temperature, the temperature is a measure of average kinetic energy of a body. So we have two important things when defining or explaining the temperature. First, temperature is the degree of hotness or coldness of a body. That's one. Two, the temperature is a measure of the average kinetic energy of a body, as we have seen here from the motion of the moving particle. So, if that is the case, we can notice that at a higher temperature, the particle here will move quickly, vigorously, randomly throughout the body. And if the velocity is increasing, then the kinetic energy also increasing. But if the velocity or speed of the particle decreasing, then the temperature will be lowered. So if that is the case, we can say that the measure of the temperature is the kinetic energy. Also we can say that because it's moving directly proportional with respect to each other. So if that is the case, my dear students, now we can see that if you crush our hand, we can feel some heat. We can feel some heat in our hands. Therefore, heat is related with the temperature. Heat is related to the temperature because there is some sort of energy that was due to the moving of the particle. So, what about the SI unit? The SI unit of temperature, is known as, is there anyone who will tell us the SI unit of temperature? Of course, you can refer from Form 1 there. We had the fundamental physical quantity. So one among the fundamental physical quantity is the temperature. Who can try? The SI unit of temperature is called as a Kelvin. It's called as a Kelvin, and this symbolized by capital K. So that is the SI unit of temperature. Even though there are some temperature which there are some unit of temperature which are normally used. So here we have other units commonly used. First, we have degree. We have degree centigrade. This one is given by this symbol, and the second one we have degree Fahrenheit. symbolized by degree F. So those are the common units that are used to express the unit of temperature. So if that is the case, then the human body temperature, which is very, very important for us, the human body temperature is about, is there anyone who will remind us upon the temperature of the human body? Okay, thank you. That is just about 36.9 degrees centigrade. So that is the human body temperature, or sometimes we can say this is approximately equal to 37 degrees centigrade. That is the human body temperature. So this is the measurement that will allow us to say that the body is healthy or not healthy. Below this or above of this, it will determine the condition of the human body. So now, my dear student, let us move to another part. So how this temperature can be measured. So we have the special instrument. The instrument used to measure the temperature of the body is known as a thermometer. So that is the special instrument. In front of you, we have thermometer, this one. So this is the special instrument which is used to measure the temperature of the body. So in this way, we can say that thermometer can be analog or can be digital. So we have analog thermometer and a digital thermometer. Let's starting with analog thermometer. Let us see to that diagram there on the board. Here, this is the analog or mechanical thermometer. So we have the first part, that is a bulb, which is called this one. Then we have the thermometric liquid, the liquid inside the thermometer. Then we have the capillary tube inside, whereby the liquid is just flowing. When the temperature is increasing or rise, then the length of the liquid will increase. And when the temperature is falling, so the length of the liquid is decreasing also. We have stem. So stem is this portion from here up to here. This is the stem of the thermometer, while this one is the bulb of the thermometer. And another one, we have digital thermometer, this one. So that is the digital thermometer. Of course, we have experienced such kind of the thermometer during the problem of the COVID-19. So if the measurement was taken, and it was concluded that your temperature is about 38.4 degrees centigrade. We can say that possibly you are affected with the COVID-19, while this one is not easy because we have to avoid the touching because of the spreading of the virus. So that's why we are going to use this digital one that can measure the temperature of the body without touching that particular body. While this one, we have to touch that particular body in order to record its temperature. So, in that way, suppose we are required to know the temperature of our classroom. So the temperature of our classroom can be measured direct by the use even the analog thermometer. So you have to place your thermometer upright like this one. Then you have to read the length of the liquid inside the capillary tube. So the value obtained or reached by that increasing liquid, that will be the temperature of that classroom. For example, in this classroom right now, the temperature of the room is about 25 degrees centigrade. So this will be the temperature of our classroom. Be careful, don't touch the bulb while you are just taking the reading. Then place your thermometer upright. My dear students, now it is a time for you to name the device that is used to measure the temperature of the body. Of course, you can come to our part here. So you are free. Either we can have the first one or we can have the second one, digital thermometer or analog thermometer. Okay, who can list down 3 units that are used to measure the temperature of the body? Who will be ready? Okay, thank you. So from there, we have seen that first of all, we have the SI unit of temperature, which is called as Kelvin, symbolized by capital K. Then we had the common ones. We have temperature in terms of degrees centigrade, and then we have the temperature in terms of degrees Fahrenheit. So if that is the case, before coming to the end of our today's lesson, make sure that you should be able to define the term temperature. You should define the term temperature. You have to state the SI unit of temperature, but don't forget the general idea or the general concept of the temperature upon the sense of touching and through the motion of the particle in a given body. Don't forget that sense of touching is not the true testing of the temperature of the body. So in order to know the actual temperature of the body, we have to use the special instrument which is called as a thermometer. Therefore, now we have some question that we can take it home. You can do with your fellow student. The first one, define the temperature. The second question, what is the value of the human body temperature? What is the value of the human body temperature? Thirdly, name the device that is used to measure the temperature of the body. And lastly, list down any 2 units that are used to express the temperature of the body. So those are our 4 questions that we are required to do at home, but don't forget to share with your students. And also you can bring to your teacher for the clarification of the answer that you have in your work. So until then, here is the end of our today's lesson. Thank you a lot, and goodbye, my dear student. Thank you.